In this video, we will be discussing about the temporary provision provided to the companies by Ministry of Corporate Affairs for holding of annual general meeting through video conferencing or other audiovisual means. This step has been taken considering the pandemic of COVID-19 and countrywide lockdown, making it difficult for the companies to have physical meetings. Let me give you a quick intro about holding of annual general meetings by the companies. The companies which are newly incorporated are required to hold their first annual general meeting within 9 months of closure of first financial year. For other companies, they have to hold their annual general meeting within 6 months of closure of the financial year. Now, this is the timeline of the notifications or the circulars issued by the MCA. MCA came out with first circular on 8th April 2020, wherein it allowed the companies to hold their extraordinary general meetings, which are required to be held on or before 30th June 2020 through video conferencing or other audiovisual means. However, this circular did not talk about the manner of issuance of notice. So MCA came out with another circular on 13th April 2020 providing the manner and mode of issuance of notice through electronic means. Now there was a challenge for the companies having their financial year closing on 31st December 2019. They were required to hold their annual general meeting till 30th June 2020. So they were provided an extension of 3 months to hold their annual general meeting till 30th September 2020. This circular came out on 21st April 2020. Now many stakeholders approached Ministry of Corporate Affairs to allow the companies to hold their annual general meeting through video conferencing or other audiovisual means as well. So on 5th May, MCA came out with its fourth circular wherein it allowed the companies to hold their annual general meeting through video conferencing or other audiovisual means. Now such temporary permissions were given subject to certain criteria and rules which the companies were required to follow. Let us understand those criteria. The circular of holding annual general meeting or extraordinary general meeting were divided into two categories of companies. The first category was the companies which are required to provide or which are providing e-voting facility to its members. The other category was the companies which are not required to provide e-voting facility to its members. Now quick revision. Which are the companies that are required to provide e-voting facility to its members? Companies which are listed or having more than 1000 members are required to provide e-voting facility to its shareholders. Other companies are not required to provide e-voting facilities, so they may or they may not provide it. Now let us comparatively study the rules that these two categories of companies are required to follow. Now first comparison is about the mode of holding AGM. For companies providing e-voting facility, they have to hold their AGM through video conferencing or other audio-visual means, and it has to be recorded and kept at safe custody. In case of public companies, it has also to be provided on its website if there is any. For companies which are not providing e-voting facility, they can hold their AGM through video conferencing or other audiovisual means only if the company has the email IDs of at least half of its members. Now it has further provided conditions for half of those members. In case of Nidhi company, such members should hold more than 1000 rupees face value of the shares or more than 1% of the paid up share capital, whichever is less. In case of other companies having share capital, members must be representing at least 75% of the paid up share capital of the company having voting rights. For the companies that do not have share capital, members should have the right to exercise not less than 75% of the voting power in the company. In case of such companies also, the meeting has to be recorded and kept in safe custody. Moving forward, the next comparison is with respect to the rights of participating members. Now it is same for both e-voting facility companies and others. So the first right should be The meeting should be a two-way teleconferencing. That means even the members should have the right to speak in the meeting through video conferencing. The second right that the participating members have is to pose questions either concurrently at the meeting, or they should be provided a time for prior submission of questions at company's email address to be given to them, or they should be provided time for submission of their questions at the company's email ID prior to holding of such annual general meeting. Next comparison is on the basis of participation by the members. The criteria of participation is on the basis of first come first basis. For companies providing e-voting facility, arrangements should be made so that at least 1000 members are able to attend the annual general meeting through video conferencing. However, in case of the large shareholders holding more than 2% of the share capital, or the promoters of the company, directors, key managerial persons, or the statutory auditors of the company, and the chairpersons of various committees shall be admitted without the restriction of first come first served basis. The criteria for participation by the members of the companies not providing e-voting facility is same as of first come first basis. However, in this case the arrangement has to be provided for at least 500 members to be able to attend the video conference meeting. However, in this case also, the large shareholders holding more than 2% shareholding, or promoters, directors, key managerial persons, statutory auditors, and the chairpersons of the committees shall be admitted without the restriction of first come first served basis. Now next point is the facility to join the meeting. The facility to be provided to the members to be able to attend the meeting should be opened 15 minutes before the beginning of the meeting, and they should be allowed to join the meeting till next 15 minutes of the start of the meeting time. This is same for both categories of the companies. Now the companies which are providing e-voting facility are required to provide remote e-voting facility to its members. This facility is to be provided before the actual date of meeting to its members. There is no such provision of remote e-voting facility in case of companies not providing e-voting facility. Now, how do we ascertain quorum in cases of companies having annual general meeting through video conferences? The attendance of the members should be considered on the basis of their presence in the video conference or other audiovisual means followed by the company. Now moving forward to the next point, e-voting or voting by show of hands. Now in case of companies that are providing for e-voting facility, they might provide for remote e-voting facility as well. So the members who are present in the meeting and who have not casted their vote through remote e-voting are allowed to vote during the meeting through video conferencing. In case of the companies which are not providing for e-voting facility, which are not required to provide for e-voting facility, if they have less than 50 members present in the meeting, the voting can be done through show of hands unless a poll is demanded by any of the member present. In case the poll has been demanded by any of the member present during the meeting, then the required process of voting through poll has to be followed by appointment of a scrutinizer and counting of the votes accordingly. In both the cases, if the articles of association of the company provides for any specific person to be appointed as the chairman of the meeting, then such person has to be appointed as the chairman. In other cases where articles does not provide for any specific person, if there are less than 50 members, then provisions of section 104 is to be followed, which provides that the members present during the meeting can select one of them as the chairman of the meeting on the basis of show of hands. In other cases, the chairman has to be appointed by the poll conducted during the meeting. In case of companies providing e-voting facility, the poll has to be conducted through e-voting, and otherwise for other companies the poll has to be conducted normally. Now a special duty for the chairman has been provided for the companies providing e-voting facility. He has to ensure that the facility of e-voting system for conducting the poll during the meeting is provided to the members. In cases where the present members are less than 50, the voting can be done through e-voting system or show of hands unless a poll is demanded by one of the members. In other cases, the voting has to be done through e-voting system only. There is no such provision in case of companies not providing e-voting facility. Now, what about the provision of appointment of proxies in the general meeting on behalf of the members? See, the simple concept of proxies is they are required to be physically present in the meeting in place of the original members. Now, in case of annual general meeting taking place through video conferencing or other audiovisual means, there is no physical meeting per se. So, proxies are not allowed to be appointed for meetings conducted through video conferencing. Now, there is another concept of authorized representatives, which are not being barred from attending the video conference meeting for the purpose of voting. So, Section 112 provides where the president of the country is a member of any company, his authorized representative can attend the meeting on his behalf for the purpose of voting. Similarly, Section 113 provides for the authorized representatives of the corporates which are members of some other company. So, even the authorized representatives of the corporate members can also attend the meeting on behalf of the corporate for the purpose of voting. Now, the circular also provides for the attending of the annual general meeting of the company through video conferencing or other audiovisual means by certain other stakeholders of the company. It provides that at least one independent director, in case a company requires to appoint one, and the statutory auditors of the company shall attend the annual general meeting through video conferencing. It also provides that the institutional investors of the company shall be encouraged. Now, coming to the next point, which is the very important part of holding annual general meeting through video conferencing or other audiovisual means, that is the notice of the meeting. Now, the companies which are required to provide e-voting facility are first have to publish the notice of the annual general meeting in at least one vernacular language having widespread distribution in the state of registered office of the company and in one English newspaper having distribution over the country. It should contain certain details which are the statement for compliance with annual general meeting notice, the date and time of annual general meeting to be held through video conferencing, availability of the notice on the website of the company if there is any. It should also provide for the manner for casting of vote by the members who are holding their shares in a physical form or they do not have their email ID registered with the company. The notice should also provide for the manner through which the member of the company can get his email ID registered with the company. Now, since the postal services are not working properly in the country, there has to be a provision for receiving the dividend directly in the bank accounts of the members through electronic clearing services. So, the notice should also provide for the manner through which the members can receive the dividend directly in their bank accounts. So, it may require the members to provide details of their bank accounts to be registered with the company and any other necessary detail that is required. Now, what would be the manner of serving notice of the annual general meeting to be conducted through video conferencing in case of companies not providing e-voting facility? Such companies are required to send an email of notice to the members on the registered email IDs which are maintained by the company or their depository participant. If no such email ID is available with either the company or the DP, then such members should be personally called up and email ID should be taken from them for sending the notice of the meeting. If no contact detail of the member is provided or he is not traceable, then the company is required to publish a notice in at least one vernacular language newspaper having widespread distribution in the state of registered office of the company and in one English newspaper having widespread distribution, wherein the company may require them to provide such information for sending the notice of the meeting. Then both categories of companies are required to further send the notice of the meeting to the members of the company from the registered email ID of the company on the members registered email ID maintained with the company or the depository participant. Now, certain disclosures are also required to be provided in the notice to be sent through registered email ID, the date and time of the meeting, and the manner in which the members can participate. So the company may provide exclusive ID and password to each member for participating in the meeting, or it may provide a common platform for members to participate. It also should contain a helpline number wherein the members can call and inquire about the particulars of the meeting or any query that they have. Where the company has a website, it must display the notice on its website, and the companies which are listed on stock exchanges, they should also send an intimation to such stock exchange, and their notice should appear on the website of the stock exchange as well. So these are the basic rules that a company has to follow regarding the notice of the annual general meeting if it wants to hold the annual general meeting through video conferencing or other audiovisual means. Now, what if the company has already served the notice of annual general meeting, but it wants to follow the framework provided in the circular with respect to holding of annual general meeting through video conferencing or other audiovisual means? In such cases, the company may send a shorter notice to its member and obtain their consent for holding the annual general meeting through video conferencing or other audiovisual means, and it can follow the same framework that we have studied so far. Now, what about the dispatch of financial reports? The companies are required to dispatch the financial reports of the company through postal or courier services. But now, since the postal and courier services are not working, the circular has allowed the companies to send the financial reports, which are the auditor's report, the financial statements of the company, board report, and so forth, other documents, through company's email ID at the registered email ID of the member. So the circular for the time being has done away with the requirement of sending hard copies of the financial reports of the company to its members and other stakeholders who are required to attend the annual general meeting. Sending them through mails would suffice the requirement of dispatch of financial reports. Now, what if the company is declaring dividend and it wants to dispatch dividend warrants or check to the members of the company? The circular provides that the payment of dividend shall be done through electronic clearing systems. That is, the payment of dividend has to be made by the company directly into the bank accounts of the members of the company. Now, in cases where no bank details are available with the company of its members, then the company can post dividend check or dividend warrants post normalization of the postal services throughout the country. Now, in certain cases, the company can hold annual general meeting at the registered office of the company through physical mode by taking special permission from the government. In such cases, only selected members of the company, like the chairman or the major stakeholders, can be physically present and at the meeting, and the other members should be present through video conferencing. In such cases, quorum has to be ascertained as an addition of the members who are physically present in the meeting and the ones present through video conferencing. This facility can be availed only by the companies providing e-voting facility. This provision provides that voting can be done through e-voting facility only. So there is no such provision for the companies that are not providing e-voting facility. However, for the companies which are closely held, having only limited number of members, can conduct annual general meeting with the physical presence of the members. These are the main provisions which have been provided in the circular which a company has to follow for holding the annual general meeting for the financial year 2019-20 through video conferencing or other audiovisual means. Now, the facility for other compliances with respect to the annual general meeting should be provided through electronic medium. What are those compliances? Provision with respect to the disclosure of interest or any other important disclosure by the directors or the company, inspection of documents by the members, or authorization for voting by the body corporates by appointment of an authorized representative under section 113 of the Companies Act, or any other requirement or any other compliance of the general meetings should be provided through electronic medium only. So this is all about the temporary provision of holding annual general meeting through video conferencing or other audiovisual means which has been provided by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs to the companies. Thank you for watching. For any queries, you can reach me at aditijain241@gmail.com. Please like, share and subscribe the video. Thank you.